Yeah, one slightly irritating thing about this game, and saying this is someone who loves it most of the time, it's if you don't, there are a couple of points in this game where if you don't do things in the right order, you end up having to do a lot of backtracking because there are certain abilities that you need.
Ha! Look at you! How'd you get that red skin, lobster? Sit too long in the sun? Or do you paint yourself whore red every day because you think it makes you look special? What else makes you special, lizard? Your eensy-weensy pecker?
Giving you one chance to change your tone.
Oh, how totally precious. You think you scare me. If you went back to the ancient empire, they'd kill you on the spot or put you in shackles and use you for a rent boy. Isn't that right? Say, why don't we practice?
Well, one chance wasted. You're a dead man.
You're embarrassing yourself. Leave before you hurt yourself too. Ha! Here today, gone quite the vision and unusual.
This fellow must be quite proud of himself.
Before you go.
Me.
Either of us.
I think that might have hurt him more than us.
Dang it, that would hit you too.
Meet your maker.
So, a bunch of weird illusion traits with a freeze trap, apparently.
Ha! Clever. Didn't I tell you to leave? Wasn't I clear that you're not welcome here?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep tearing through your illusions until I find the real one.
You can't teach a fool anything.
Maybe if you stood on the rock in the center.
Right there.
Yeah, you could also use Rift Walk to go somewhere, but... Actually, you could use it to just go up there, which would probably give you a better line.
That guy's...
Maybe hold that until that guy comes in. He's gonna have to. For now, I don't know, chuck a rock at one of them and summon some totems? In the oil?
Glory is mine.
Your totems should be immune to earth damage, so you can cast Impale without worrying about hitting them, I think.
I will yield to none.
And Winter Blast also wouldn't cause any issues. If you don't hit the totems directly. Aim behind them. There you go.
Or should I not bother with buffs?
Encourage works. It would also help your totems, so why not?
Okay, they're coming after us directly now.
Well, I kind of threw him down on the totems before. That was not his choice. I was hoping I would get to use Impale on them before he left, but this means I can use some of my fire skills without damaging your totems. Scorching Ignition would probably cause problems for the totems because it would light up the oil that they're on. Zenithora.
Prepare yourself.
Unfortunately, that guy is too far away for me to do much of anything. Alright, well, he's far enough away from your totems. You should be able to do just about anything. Including summon more totems. Just more of them in the oil, I think.
Yeah, because
Because I don't know if the fire one would see him, yeah. Now we see if you can have more than 2. You can. Okay. And you can light him on fire all you like. Just make sure you don't clip your totems. I'm surprised that their oil projectiles don't cause an explosion when they hit someone on fire. That's a shame. Why do I get the feeling this chest is a trap? The chest was a trap.
Poor idiot. That was even easier than I thought. Ha! Poor lobster. You're even sillier than I thought. In what world does treasure simply appear from on high?
It's happened before.
Poor idiot.
Well, you'll either respond or not.
That was even easier than I thought.
Don't care if it was an illusion. I feel better.
Careful. I've spotted a trap.
Oh, lots of traps. Okay, I'm just going to blow these up. Oh, okay. Usually that works. Nope. Okay, fine. Just walk around them.
Careful now.
Ah, okay. Didn't get the warning about those until it's too late. Know anything useful about the dungeon?
It's a riddle, isn't it? A conundrum. What's it you'll have to solve?
Clue?
I thought you looked clueless, right? Thing is, it's about the letters, innit? One for each thing. Easy. Yeah.
Thank
sure.
you.
Hope you don't die. Well, nice to meet you too. Rude thing.
Well, I had no other way of leaving other than eyeing you suspiciously. So, I guess on the assumption that maybe the rat is also an illusion.
You come to find. You come to search. But you won't find the way. A pity.
If you help, I might figure it out.
I cannot help you. I only give the questions. I do not answer them. Brachus has willed it. Trompdoy must abide. You have met the unfortunate guardian of this vault.
Yes, I've had the displeasure.
Judge him with a forgiving heart. Fate has been unkind to him.
Considering that I assume he made you, yeah, I'm not going to take your opinion on that very seriously.
Do you wish to move forward?
Yes.
Closely and make your attempt. Brachus is a bloody, rotten, thieving, very, very awful fellow. Some even call him a cur. A cur is...
So, each letter in Brachus's name corresponds to a word. And the big hint there that Brachus's name has 2 C's and very repeats twice. Very, very awful fellow. So C is very, U is awful, and R is thieving. So cur would be very awful, or sorry, not thieving, rotten. Very awful and rotten.
Either you're very good at guessing or the slightest bit clever. Let's find out for certain. Listen closely and make your attempt. Source is a scourge, a devil, a misery, a blight, a hex, a curse. And yet, the cure is...
So, C would be hex. And this is the only one that starts with hex, so...
Perhaps you're not totally incapable after all. Or maybe Trompdoy told you the answers, is that it? Is he hoping you'll... It doesn't matter in any case. The path is open. Go freely.
Can you answer any further questions?
I know little, but you have proven yourself a knowing traveler. I will answer what I can.
What did you mean when you said Trompdoy was kept here by Brachus Rex?
Rex has charged him, tried him, convicted and punished him. I know not the crime, but he has been sentenced to remain in this vault for all time and to prevent others from entering. Trompdoy was and is a creative man. He knew petty magic in his day, but this he has used to carve this place out from a simple vault, myself included.
And what did you mean by a cure to source?
Rex discovered the way. This he researched here, upon this isle. He could remove the source from any creature or individual. I saw the stars he used myself. They were most impressive.
Open your eyes. Time to die.
Prepare yourself.
Can't move any of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm still the only one with teleport. Really hoping we find another Aerothurch
Do
merchant
I
sometime
have any
soon.
nice single skill target skills?
Unfortunately, there aren't very many good single target skills. And
Just attack.
yeah, maybe just attack, and I'll try to get them in a group after my turn. Yeah, you can hold those last 2 points. Oh, great. That one's going to just turn invisible again. Wonderful. Alright, I'm going to try to get this archer. No, not chameleon cloak. Teleport. And English. Why didn't you throw the water balloon on yourself? You're on fire. Okay, summon your totems in the fire spot. And do whatever you'd like. Those two are near you, so probably focus on them. You'll get an attack of opportunity if you try to move away, so... Blinding Radiance? There's also the Zenith Aura, too.
I'll yield to none. I sense something nearby.
Don't really think that swapping our places is going to help you guys at all, but... Okay. Well, I'm probably going to take an attack of opportunity for this, but I don't really care. My physical armor's quite good. Yeah, both of them have pretty high physical armor, so I'll point in doing that. I'm immune to fire at the moment, so...
You need armor?
No, I'm good. Could just use your wand.
Yeah.
As you pick up the ring, you feel a cold, dark pain shoot up your arm. Your mind itches. You don't hear, but feel a whisper in your ear. It tells you to slip the ring onto your finger.
Yeah, no, I'd really rather not be cursed. And as far as I'm aware, if you use Bless on yourself, it's the only way to remove the ring, but the ring just falls off your finger. It doesn't, like, uncurse it. The only real use for the ring other than selling it is you can show it to the gargoyles in the gargoyle maze, and if you do, they will say, "Welcome home, Brachus," and you can just skip the maze. So that is one way to just not deal with that if you don't want to, but you do miss, like, everything in the maze, like any loot and, like, putting out the burning guy and all that. Which we're going to have to double back and do. Okay, careful, I'm about to drop a chest over here, so...
That's plenty.
And somehow these giant piles of gold end up not making us rich for the rest of the game. Found a purging wand, though.
You made it all this way.
Lucky find.
Also found another piece of the Tyrant armor, the chest piece. I think we only need the helmet at this
Thanks
point.
to you.
I'm sorry.
He trembles and seems to shudder with a quiet sob.
I'm cursed, you know. Bloody Brachus bound me here to protect his vault. He has my soul in that jar just there, and I can't leave without it.
You know, if you wanted someone to try to help you, even if you had to try to stop them because of whatever
As long as
curse,
the stays unbroken, I can never truly die.
then you could have at least been polite. Your statue didn't mention anything about the curse forcing you to be a dick.
Nope. So what'd you do?
I don't rightly know. This was the Source King's way. Befriend you, then destroy you. I was a fool to expect I'd be an exception. His favor was intoxicating. That's no excuse, but it is the reason.
So you didn't even like try to lead in like any kind of rebellion against him like even the frickin' necromancers did.
Yeah, you're insufferable.
Yeah.
The tears flow faster and faster.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we kind of agreed to smash some of these jars,
Jar
so...
before you.
Not his, though.
Blue light. Its appearance flickers and changes. It is at once a brightly colored motley and then a deep gray. You hear roaring laughter and shouts, then the hush of silence. You think you can hear quiet, choking sobs from within. With a jerk, your mind is pulled to a beautiful palace court. It's filled with cheers, but you can almost taste the fear in the room. You see a jester prance in the court. He casts illusions, playing to his master's cruelty by picking on the weakest in the room. He lives for the laughter and applause. The scene spins, a new face, a new fool to make his master laugh. Don't worry, he's told, you'll always have your place. The door closes, and you see the illusionist in the dark of this dungeon. He's alone, surrounded by gold and deathly silence. Your hand falls from the jar, your skin prickling and cold after the vision. To die down here would be terrible. To live down here for eternity, you shudder at the thought.
Well, we can't absorb the souls because we have collars on right now. So I'm just going to take a whiff.
Lucky find.
Get back here.
The visions fade to black, but the memories remain.
Yeah.
He helped entertain murderers and tyrants. He'll find no forgiveness from me.
Associating with tyrants validates their actions. He might not have killed anyone, but he enabled their murder. Let him suffer.
I also think it's a hell of an assumption that he didn't kill anyone. Brackus seems like exactly the kind of person where...
Part of the act would be killing a dude right in front of him as a joke.
The jar before you may have looked opulent once, but no longer. Now it's covered in grime, its paint chipped away, and its jewels long stolen.
Well, this one says Gratiana, also not one of the ones that we agreed to free. But they did mention her, and she seemed like the worst of the lot, according to them.
The soul jar rocks slightly, light flashing from underneath its lid. On its rim, you can just barely make out the name Gratiana. As soon as you touch the jar's cracked surface, you see a vision of splendor, silks, fine food, and decadent lechery. But underneath it all lies bone and blood. The vision shifts. You see burning villages, slaughtered women and children. You see her, purging wand in hand, standing amongst it all. She throws her head back and laughter echoes in your skull. A shadow falls across her, and you see a large, weeping face. She reaches out as if to comfort, but Brackus drags her back. You see her fall into the mire of the swamp, trapped. As you pull your hand away, you can feel a deep, longing sadness in your soul. Is it regret? Or just sadness for a life that used to be?
Again, can't eat the soul. Also don't really feel like freeing this one, at least not right now. So just gonna take it with.
The terrible vision fades.
Gratiana used the pain and deaths of others for her pleasure. She should be damned until the end of time.
Gratiana's life was selfish and hedonistic. No mercy.
Yeah, I'm not sure that just, deathbed repentance is going to wipe that one away, but maybe we'll run into her like we did the necromancers.
This jar glitters and glows. From within, you think you can make out the distant sound of laughter.
I think this is one of the ones we agreed to smash, but let's see.
Your mind is pulled to a scene in a tavern. You see a dwarf in the center of the room, joking us all around roar with laughter. All bar the zombies, who are slavishly serving food and drink. The door opens, and a tall, beautiful woman stalks into the room. She's flanked by heavily armed guards. You can't make out her words, but see the fear in the dwarf's eyes. The dwarf mutters a word, and the undead lurch towards the intruder, but are cut down like wheat. The dwarf tries to run, pushing her friends into the woman's path, but is grabbed before she can escape. As she's dragged away to a tower, you hear her cursing Brackus Rex and his whore. Even when she's thrown inside and the door sealed, you can still hear her shouts. You pull your hand away from the jar, your head swimming. You can feel the dwarf's cold terror still twisting in your gut.
I don't see that much of a problem of raising dead for menial tasks. I don't know, again, traveling with a necromancer. Feels like it would be maybe a little bit hypocritical for me to complain about it at this point. But we agreed to destroy it. So...
The jar shatters like glass, but a spirit rises from the shards like smoke. The ghost of a dwarf, bedecked in necromancer robes, winks and blows you a kiss before slowly fading to nothing.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. My death waits.
Get back here.
The vision.
Keep running away from the conversations. I don't really like either of these options. But one makes no sense, so I guess two?
Any sins can be forgiven under the right circumstances.
At least your
at
options
least
make
one of
more
mine
sense.
makes some sense.
Yeah.
She must have been acting against Brachus Rex for him to have come for her like that.
Which, according to them at least, they were. And they were in prison, so...
The jar on the plinth before you seems ancient, but is in surprisingly good condition. It's covered in pictograms that you can't understand, but you're sure you just saw one of them move. The pictograms spin to life, and you're dragged into a dream. You see the lizards of the ancient empire turning their backs on you, casting you out into the wilderness. As you roam, the human apes turn away from you, all but one. One smiles, one opens his arms, one says he'll take you home. Brachus Rex. He promises power, for a price. He picks off your golden scales, one by one, stripping you down to the bone. He promised you a crown, but all you got were shackles. You try to fight, try to reclaim what's yours, but a woman takes you by the hand and leads you to a tower. He promised he'd take me home, you cry. You are home, she smiles as she seals the door. This is where you belong. Your hand drops away from the soul jar, your skin prickling. In the back of your mind, you hear a small, scared voice whimper before fading to nothing.
Well, his soul jar thing seemed a lot more sympathetic than he did when we talked to him. That's for sure. Well, we're going to be destroying it.
Emerge from the ruins of the broken jar, a lizard in the finest necromancer robes. It grudgingly nods at you as it starts to fade from the mortal realm.
Farewell to flesh. Farewell to bone. Farewell.
The long-dead lizard's visions fade.
He committed his crimes out of pain, not malice. You ought to be forgiven.
We didn't even see him, like, I guess you could assume he was doing some nasty stuff because he was a necromancer, but at least in his visions and when we talked to him, we didn't even see him doing anything objectionable.
I can't help but sympathize with him. He just wanted to go home.
I mean, I guess he must have done something to get tossed out of the ancient empire, but...
The soul jar stands on its plinth, glowing softly. From within, you can almost hear the whisper of a voice. You see, or rather, you feel, a far-off land. Frozen breath hangs in the air, pine needles brush your cheeks, and in your arms you can feel a weight. A body, dead. But you have hope. Your vision swims. You're older, but perhaps not wiser. You march at the head of a shambling host, the enemies of Brachus Rex melting before you. The scene twists again. Now Brachus stands before you, a beautiful woman at his side. You lash out in treasonous rage, but cold arms bind you. You're sealed away in a tower. Your screams fill the darkness. You feel a jolt and open your eyes to see the soul jar before you, lying still in the vault. Your hand falls from the jar and grips the pillar as you try to calm your ragged breathing.
Well... Again, we agreed to destroy this, so...
A human spirit slips from the ruins of the jar. Decked in necromancer robes, she turns to you, bows, and starts to fade away to nothing.
My eternal thanks, young one. Oh, timely death.
The necromancer's memories fade to black, but the feelings remain.
Again, traveling with a necromancer. Makes this a lot more complicated, honestly. I don't like either. So, 2, I guess.
Give this soul. Punishment must fit the crime. This doesn't.
They may have been a necromancer, but they did not feel evil. Misguided, perhaps.
And there's this one.
A soul jar rests between two fallen columns, emanating a faint odor of seaweed and timber. When you touch the glass, your vision wavers. You emerge on the prow of a fine ship. Your armor pulses with enchantment, dominating those who draw near. Your flag flies for Brachus Rex, a tyrant who traded for your soul. With his power, your flesh and blood is no longer relevant. The vision fades as the soul thrashes, trying to sever your connection. In the end, greed masters you. You seek out the tyrant's vault to retrieve your soul, but Brachus is ready with a trap. Thus imprisoned, you can only dream about what is out of reach. Your soul and that alluring armor. The vision shatters as the soul squirms away from you, curling up in the bottom of the jar. The soul jar pulses with trapped life force.
Well, I don't think we agreed to free him, so just take this with us for now.
Yeah. We might meet some of these people that we just stashed in our backpack and
We can make a
decisions
decision
from there.
Yeah.
Oh.